Let's cook. What's up, y'all? It's Brian back with a live stream. I haven't done one of these in a while. Um, Typically the way I want my live streams to run, and I'll wait for people to start filtering in as we start getting. But if you have questions, drop them in the chat. I'll try to answer them. I don't hold anything back on these live streams. So if you want to pick the brain of somebody that's managed their own marketing agency, it's marketed for multiple businesses, small profits, you name it, I've done it. This is your opportunity to get straight up free actionable information from me. And so that's what the offer is. I really do think that having people engage on the live stream adds a little bit of value to the other viewers. So don't hesitate. There are no dumb questions, but please feel free. And I will keep banging on this drum as we do this. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. All right. So today's video is for people that want to start creating content, but they freeze up as soon as they hit record, right? It's happened to me. Like it happened to me the other day. And so I'm breaking down what, I'm breaking down what you need to know, what to talk about and stuff like that. So you don't run out of ideas and to get a little bit more comfortable, because you have your why, why you want to turn on the camera, why you want to start recording, but it doesn't help if you don't know what to say. Okay. So before we jump too far into this, if you need a simple way to structure your script or your videos fast, I use a 4-part framework called the hook, point, story, action framework. If you want help applying it, I have my Content2Cash Machine community on Skool. You can introduce yourself. I also have a plug and play 5-minute scripting system that's in my stand store that's based off of that framework. That's for sale as well. And I have other tools in there. I have some copywriting templates and things along those lines to get you started. And so if you need it, I'll build it for you. Right now, I'm designing a couple of apps that will absolutely help people that want to start recording themselves. I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Brian. I run a marketing agency called I Sell Words that I'm actively looking to shut down so I can pivot into teaching business owners how to market themselves and how to create their own content. Content doesn't always have to be video, but we're starting with video and we'll expand out as we get more people. So that's what the pitch is. If you're interested and you want to engage with me, go to my stand store. It has all my contact information. Plus it has all the tools that I'm making available to you. They're available to you. You can use them however you want to. Okay. Let's see. So here's the thing. The real reason you don't know what to talk about is it's not you have plenty of knowledge, right? It's not a lack of knowledge. You need structure. You need to know how to structure what you're saying. You need a purpose on why you're saying it. I think one of the things that happens is business owners specifically, if you're expert in your field, you tend to overcomplicate what you know, or you tend to undersell what you know. You tend to think you don't know enough to talk to people about it, or what you're talking about is boring and mundane. The stuff that is in your brain that is common knowledge to you that you think is so boring and a big snooze fest is absolutely fascinating to somebody who needs that information. It's incredibly fascinating. And so the idea that you're going to bore people, your audience is going to tune in if you solve a problem for them. You just got to find a way. You got to be consistent enough so that they can find you and that you can be found. Okay. But beginners assume that content's about being clever and not useful. We see a lot of people with the cutesy memes and things along those lines. And they have their utility, but more times than not, it's good to make a quick impression or even a quick conversion and sell. But going meme focus, where you're just focusing on duplicating the latest trends or memes, that could set you up to fail. Okay, we see people coming in. Hey guys, as you're coming in, if you have questions, you want to pick the brain of somebody that's done this marketing thing for small businesses, nonprofits, and other stuff, drop it in the chat. I don't hold anything back. So if you got any questions about copywriting or content creation, drop them in the chat. I will be pleased to answer them for you. Okay. But yeah, it's not a lack of knowledge. You know everything you need to know to start recording. Okay. It is really structure. It's how you structure it and things along those lines. Okay. And people get too far into the cute game, the clever game, the one to go viral game. We need to actually discuss that. And I don't even have that on my notes, but that is something that needs to be discussed. Your job as a business owner isn't to go viral. It's to reach the client that's going to put money in your pocket. I need to repeat that. Your job as a business owner when you're creating content is not to go viral. It's to reach the people that are going to do business with you and help them out in some beneficial way. Virality is fine, is great, but it can be something where you're chasing a dragon, or you're chasing a rocket. Sometimes you'll have a video that absolutely blows up and you'll have no idea why it exploded. And trying to reverse engineer that will be the detriment of you because you're trying to reach a broad audience, and your audience isn't a broad audience. Your audience is a specific niche of people that you're trying to convert to clients or book for appointments or whatever. So virality isn't the most important consideration when you're making content as a business owner. I really need y'all to lock in on that piece of it. Like I said, that's the challenge. And you're competing for attention and stuff like that. Yes, you are. But if you are providing real value to people, and they're getting something out of you, I would take the trade-off of I'd rather have 10 people that want to buy my services or do business with me. I'd rather deal with that than 1,000 people that are just perusing and have no intention of ever doing business with me. That's just me. But you don't realize how valuable the stuff is in your brain because it's all normal to you. Like if you do HVAC, a lot of the routine stuff you do with HVAC seems pretty normal and mundane information to you, but it can absolutely change somebody's life if they're looking to get into HVAC or if they're having a problem in their home and they're about to drop $10,000 on a new system that they don't need to drop. Okay. So understand the information in your brain is really, really valuable to somebody else. Okay. So let's talk about some categories that won't run dry for you. Okay. The most obvious one is kind of what we've been talking about is what you know. Teach people the basics, the bare basics. My lighting, audio, and video course is really bare basic stuff. And it's probably the most impactful stuff that you can watch because people will watch a video, they'll watch a YouTube video with terrible video, but they won't watch one with bad audio. But the only way you know that is if you have a basic understanding of how to record content. Okay. We're not going for Oscars. We're not going for Emmys here. We're going for clients in the door. Cash to content machine. Content to cash machine. Sorry. Teach people the basics that they overlook. Say the quiet part out loud. Something that you think is common knowledge, say it out loud. Blast it out there. Okay. Because you're going to reach somebody who may not have had that insight. You may bring a revelation to somebody that they didn't know. And explain the thing that you wish you known earlier. A great piece of advice I've heard about making content for business owners is you're talking to yourself 5 years ago. Tell them everything you wish you knew. All right. Again, if you guys got any questions, please drop them in the chat. I don't hold anything back on these live streams. And so if you've got questions about content creation or copywriting, that's my wheelhouse. I've had a marketing agency for 10 years. And I've had multiple videos on here. I think the most recent one is how my $42,000 month almost closed my agency. So I do have the experience and I have the scars to prove it. Okay. The next thing that we need to discuss in terms of categories that you won't run out of is what you've learned. Okay. Talk about your mistakes. I talk about my mistakes all the time on this channel. This channel is about showing my mistakes to the world. Okay. I need you to understand this channel exists to show my mistakes, show the things that I screwed up, the things that I didn't get right, my misfires, my miscues, and the lesson that came from that. A lot of times people would only show you their successes and it leaves you with a distorted view of how things should actually work. I don't trust people that only give me the things they've been successful at. Show me where you failed because I can draw a lesson from that. Okay. Survivorship bias is a huge thing on social media. And a lot of times people will tell you all their successes and none of their failures. And when you start trying to duplicate their blueprint for success, if they leave out all the failures, you don't know what to avoid. You know what to do, but you don't know what to avoid. Okay. So lessons from your mistakes, lessons from your wins. Sometimes your wins can be costly. I had a $42,000 month as a as a 1.5 man agency. My wife was part-time with me. Um, 1.5 person agency. I had a $42,000 month. There was a lesson in that win because that win had a cost attached to it that almost shut us down just based on some of the things that came along with it. Okay. A good framework to use is I used to do X, now I do Y. Here's why I do that. A lot of people can relate to that. All right. 3, what you're doing right now. This channel kind of checks all the boxes because it talks about what I know, talks about what I've learned, and it talks about what I'm doing now. What I'm doing now is I'm trying to monetize a small channel like I've done for other business owners. Done it for multiple other business owners across the board, where I take a small audience and leverage it and monetize it. And so I'm trying to see if I can turn that on me. Okay. So what you're doing now, document the journey. The documentate, like, those are the most, to me, that's some of the most high value content you're ever going to find, is the build along with me, ride along with me, documenting the journey so you can follow every step of the way. Those are very high value videos. Um, and they reach an audience that has a higher level of intent, because we need to talk about that. Intent does matter. Sometimes people are just looking to be entertained for shits and giggles. And a lot of times that's fine. But if you're looking for people that are going to do business with you or transact business, you need somebody that has a higher level of intent. They're watching you for a specific outcome. Okay. Documenting the journey, to me, is one of the most rewarding videos I can land on. Okay. Show what's working today. Hey, let's peel back the curtain. Show us how the sausage is made. Show us the thing that is working for you today. That is a gold mine of material. What are you doing right now that's working? Okay. And show what's failing and the adjustments you're making. All of these are very good. And these are things I'm trying to implement on this channel. So document what you're doing right now. You document the journey, you show what's working, you show what's not working, and talking about the adjustments you're making. Okay. These are gold mines of video content that you can make. Okay. Any industry, if you have a basic understanding of the industry, if you've ever done a presentation like at a networking group or something along those lines, that can always be your first video. Okay. Just tell people what you know. It doesn't have to be the most exciting thing in the world. The reality is, when you start you're not going to like your first couple of videos anyway. And you're going to experience the phenomenon of, okay, you're trying to level up. You've invested into video editing software. Now you're investing time in the video editing software. I've edited this video for 6 hours. I've got all the B-roll. I got all the other stuff. I posted, I think it's my masterpiece, and nobody watches it. Then you kind of give up and say, I'm gonna just record and put something out there, and then that video does numbers. Okay. That's just the game. That's how the game is played. And so I don't want you guys to give up if you don't get that immediate feedback from what you post. Okay. So we're going to talk about how to generate 30 plus ideas in under 10 minutes. Okay. So what questions do people keep asking me? You need to think about that. If you're working in a specific industry, if you have a business, if you're trying to get into a business, if you're just trying to establish yourself as a content expert in a space, what do people keep asking you? Those are video ideas. Any question that you've answered for somebody in your line of work or in your expertise, that is a video. Okay. Each question becomes a video. Prompt number 2. What problem did I solve last year that people are still stuck on? What did you solve for yourself? What magic beans do you have that you've harvested for yourself and you're seeing other people struggle and falter with it? That is that current knowledge is somebody else's survival guide. Okay. Prompt 3, what did I Google this week? If you're really struggling, look at what you Googled. Um, One of the current strategies on YouTube is to make videos that have searchable titles. Okay. And as I see people filter in, guys, if you got questions, I am a copywriter with 10 years of experience for industry, for all kinds of industries, all kinds of size businesses and organizations. If you got questions, I don't hold anything back on the live stream. Please jump in with questions if you have them. Okay. So prompt 3, if you're looking for content, what did I Google this week? If you searched it, somebody else needs it. And like I said, making videos that follow along the lines of Google searches is a very powerful way. It's kind of an SEO hack, because understand that YouTube is owned by Google, and search results from YouTube will pull into Google if they're worded right. And so when you're making videos, if you write your videos in search terms, like you make the title match a search term, there's a good chance your video may pull into the results for somebody. Okay. I'm gonna run down the mini framework, okay, that I've been using and I've had to apply to myself. My ADHD will get the best of me at times, and when it does, it can be very challenging to continue to come up with content that moves the needle. And so I had to establish a framework for myself so that I have a repeatable system, a ritual, if you will, when I create videos. Okay. So this is the HPSA framework. All right. H is for hook. Start with a pain point or start with a promise. What are you going to deliver on? What is your target audience suffering from? Okay. I actually had a meeting this morning with somebody, and she's in an industry where there's a very specific pain point that's tied directly to the economy we're living in that she can absolutely solve for people, and they will put money in her pocket for doing it. Start with the pain point or make a promise that they're going to get something out of the video. Okay. That's the H. P, deliver on that value immediately. As soon as you can, don't meander, get straight to your value proposition. What are you going to transform for them? So hook them, and then now we deliver the value immediately. Okay. S is story. Give an example to make it stick. Give an analogy. Make up a hypothetical situation. Tell something that you have that ties to the pain point and the promise that you've provided. Okay. So give an example. And then action. This is the part that people always forget. You need to tell them what they need to do next. Okay. So what you need to do next. If I provided value to you, I want you to subscribe to the channel. We'll keep it simple. Subscribe to the channel. Now, if you're looking for some of my tools that I've harnessed, I've honed over these years as a copywriter and a marketer, I have a link to my Stand store in the description. Feel free to go there. I have a 5-minute framework that follows this HPSA model to help you come up with video ideas and scripts. Okay. Next piece, we're going to talk about why people are overcomplicating everything. Because it can be overwhelming when you want to start making your own content. It really can. You can absolutely bog yourself down in so many technical details and everything. This is one reason why when I'm teaching people, I'm teaching business owners how to start recording themselves, the first thing I say is, let's use your phone. Let's use your phone. They'll ask for equipment recommendations and cameras and stuff. Use your phone. You already know how to use your phone. It has a sensor in it that rivals a lot of cameras that are coming out, and everybody's watching everybody's watching your stuff on a phone for the most part anyway. It doesn't make a difference. They're not going to be able to tell the difference. Start with the simplest tool available. I would avoid going out like I have my Sony cameras that I use for actual videography gigs and stuff like that. I would avoid more expensive mirrorless cameras until you actually know how to use them, because every dial, every setting on there is a learning curve. Pick the simplest tool available and get started. Beginners overcomplicate everything. If you are looking to start recording yourself and the first thing you sit down, the first thing you try to do is sit down and look up camera specs, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Okay. Beginners overcomplicate things because they think every video has to be groundbreaking. Sometimes it's just about building momentum. Okay. When you make your first video, don't look at your numbers. They're going to skew you one way or the other. Don't look at all that stuff. Okay. Every video doesn't have to alter the world. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. It doesn't have to go viral or anything along those lines. They assume that they need guru level expertise. You do not. You just need to know more than your audience does. Now, I'm saying that with a caveat. Don't sit up here and just freestyle bullshit at people. Don't just sit up here and just throw out things that you don't know or specious information, but talk about what you know. But you don't need a guru level expertise. You just need to know more than your audience because that's the value they're getting. Right? They forget simple explanations and build trust faster. I can't even read my own script. They forget simple explanations build trust faster than flashy advice. Okay. Keep it simple. Keep it simple and actionable. That's how I read a ton of marketing and business books and psychology books and stuff. The best books, the books I always recommend are the ones that have actionable information in them. I can take this book, the information in this book, and create an outcome for myself immediately. Those are the best books. Those are the best business books. Those are the best marketing books. Those are the best personal advice books. If a book can lead me to deliver an outcome for myself simply, that's the best one. When we start getting into theory and all this other stuff, those can be great for if you're at a higher level and you already know how to execute, but focus on the execution piece of it. Keep it simple. Okay. So here's the big reframe for y'all. All right. You're not searching what to talk about. You're identifying what your audience needs next. What information do they need next? What information do they need to get started? That's where you start. Okay. Your job is to be one step ahead, not 10 steps above. In my old life, I was a case manager and I'm a verbose guy. And I had staff that were really educated. I would constantly have to stop myself and reprimand my staff for being too verbose, for talking over the heads of the family. Because while it looks impressive and it sounds impressive to yourself or who other people are watching, you're not doing them a service because you're not communicating at the level they're at. You need to reach people where they are as opposed to where you want them to be. Okay. Reach them where they are until you get them to the level of where you want them to be. I hope that makes sense. Be one step ahead, not 10 steps above. Okay. So, if this helped you and you want a place to practice, I do have a Skool community. Yes, it's the pitch. It's called the Content2Cash Machine. It is made for business owners who want to learn how to start recording themselves. That's it. If you want to start learning how to record yourself or creating content, this is the place to be. I can teach you videos. I'm going to be working on my newsletter marketing strategy class that's coming up here. But it's really a community for business owners, by business owners, to help you guys grow and start creating your own content or have the working knowledge to hire somebody to do it for you. Okay. We work on this together. All right. If you're wanting to get started tomorrow, you could either rewind this video and take notes, or I have my 5-minute video scripting system in my Stand store, and that can get you started today. So you can start planning out your first video. All right. That's really what it is, y'all. My ADHD is telling me to stay on here and ramble, but I'm overriding that, guys. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat, drop them, leave a comment, and I will try to spin the block and answer them the best I can. If you want to book a one-on-one with me, my link's in the stand store. All right. I can sit down and kind of look at your social media and help you figure out the best path. I can help you figure out the best path forward in terms of creating content that aligns with what your social media is. Okay. So that's all I got, y'all. I do appreciate y'all for joining me on this live stream. I'm trying to get back more into the habit of live streaming. Um, the thing that's going to keep me coming on to the live stream is having questions to answer. I don't hold anything back. If you ask me if you ask me for my expertise, there is nothing I conceal about that. And so if you want in-depth, in the weeds information or advice about writing words that sell, marketing, or content creation, drop them in the comments. I don't hold anything back. I absolutely try my best to answer it. And if I can't answer it, I research it and spin the block and come back to you. So that's all I got, y'all. I do appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, this is an abbreviated live stream. I'm probably going to plan something a little bit longer for Friday because that was normally my live streaming day this summer. And so cleared out my schedule so that I can accommodate that again. I do appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.